Hello. I'm Eve, and you're about to witness the moment when everything I've ever known falls apart. Tonight, my life changes. Tonight, I either break or I rise. But trust me, this isn't just any ordinary night. This is the night that will make or break me. I adjust my dress in the full-length mirror, my fingers working the fabric, smoothing out imaginary wrinkles. The silk feels like it's biting into me, a reminder that everything about tonight feels wrong. I try to steady my breath, but the tightness in my chest doesn't go away. This is it. Tonight will either break me, or it will change everything. The quiet hum of voices filters in from the other side of the door. I hear Damien's laughter, too loud, too carefree. And I, as always, stand just behind him, my role in his life little more than a shadow. A good wife. Quiet. Obedient. I step into the hallway and walk toward the grand dining room, my heels clicking softly against the polished marble floors. The mansion feels too big for me tonight. The golden light from the chandeliers casts warm shadows across the long table, but the luxury only heightens the isolation I feel. I step into the room, my face a practiced smile. Damien greets the guests with sweeping gestures, shaking hands, kissing cheeks, as if he owns the world. He doesn't look my way. I stand beside him, a prop in his performance. It's nothing new. I've learned to disappear in these rooms. Dinner passes in a blur. The conversation shifts from politics to business, to the latest gossip. Damien barely notices when I speak. I watch the way everyone laughs a little too hard at his jokes, and the way his eyes seem to dominate every room he enters. I try to ignore the gnawing feeling in my stomach. After all, I'm here, aren't I? I've made it this far. I've been a good wife, and this is the price of that. Then it happens. Damien, in a heated argument with his brother about some business deal, accidentally knocks over his glass of red wine. It splashes across the table, and the liquid spreads like blood, staining the pristine white tablecloth. He turns, laughing, but the laughter falters when his eyes land on me. Without thinking, he spits the rest of the wine in my face. The room falls silent. I freeze, a ripple of shock spreading through my veins, my breath caught in my chest. The wine runs down my cheek, warm and sticky. I can feel the weight of the stares on me, the shock, the confusion. I want to scream, to run, but instead, I swallow the fury and force my lips into a smile. Damien laughs, unaware of the damage he's done. Perfect, he says, wiping his mouth. The stain suits you. The words hit harder than the wine. The coldness in his voice makes my skin crawl. I wipe my face with the napkin, trying to control the tremor in my hands. The room is still frozen, the guests awkwardly shifting in their seats. I want to disappear. I want to escape this suffocating, gilded cage. But for some reason, this time, I don't run. I don't let them see how much it hurts. Instead, I look at him. Damien doesn't even seem to notice the change in me. He's too busy laughing at his own joke, oblivious to the hurt he's caused. But this time, I don't shrink. I don't let it wash over me and disappear like I always do. I stare into his eyes, cold, unfeeling. I see the man who's taken everything from me, and yet, he still doesn't understand the depths of his cruelty. He never does. This is it. I wipe the last trace of wine off my face and drop the napkin onto the table. I look around the room, no one says anything, no one moves. They're all afraid to break the silence. But in that moment, I realize something. I'm done. I haven't just been forgotten. I've been erased. But not anymore. I turn and walk out of the room. The quiet murmur of conversation resumes behind me, but it's like a fog. It feels far away. I don't belong here anymore. I sit in my office, the door shut, the world outside muted. My fingers trace the edges of the papers on my desk, all business contracts, legal jargon, figures. My mind is elsewhere, still swirling in the haze of the humiliation I just endured. But it's different this time. This time, I see it clearly. This company, this house, this life, it's all built on my shoulders. They just don't know it yet. Damien doesn't know it. My mother doesn't know it. No one knows it, except me. I've been silent for far too long. I reach for my phone. My thumb hovers over Damien's contact. The desire to tell him everything, to scream at him about what he's done, fills me, but I pause. Instead, I text my lawyer. Set up a meeting. We need to go over the shares. I've never quite understood why I've put up with it for so long. After last night, I think I finally do. My fingers hover over my phone, the glow of the screen reflecting off my fingertips. There's no going back now. Damien's number flashes on the screen, and for a second, I consider ignoring it. But something inside me clicks. He's going to try again. He's going to apologize, and he's going to beg for my forgiveness. For a moment, I think I'll let it ring out, but then, I press accept. His voice is familiar, yet it feels foreign to me now. It's soft at first, a voice meant to soothe, to cover up what was done. Eve, he begins, his words slow, as if careful. I'm sorry for what happened last night. I didn't mean for it to go that far. Can we talk? I sit up straighter, the chair beneath me creaking in the silence of the room. The phone feels heavier in my hand, like it has a life of its own. He sounds almost helpless. It should be comforting, but there's something about it that leaves me cold. My pulse doesn't quicken, instead, it slows, steady, deliberate. I'm not panicking anymore. I'm past that. No, I say, my voice steady. I barely recognize it, calm, controlled. I haven't heard this voice in years. We don't need to talk, I continue, looking out the window at the LA skyline, the city humming beneath me, oblivious to the war I've waged inside. The damage is done, Damien. The wine stain doesn't suit me, but I've worn it long enough. There's silence on the other end. I can hear him breathing, unsure of what to say next. It's almost sad, really. He's not the man I married. But then, maybe he never was. Eve, please, he says, a little desperate now, let's meet. We can fix this. We'll talk about everything. The company, our future. I know we've had our problems, but... I cut him off before he can finish. No, Damien. You don't get to do this. You don't get to humiliate me, then apologize like everything will be okay. It's not. It's over. My words are sharp, but inside, it's quieter than ever. There's a calmness that runs through me now, a steadiness I haven't felt before. I'm not the woman who cried last night, or the woman who stood in that room, frozen. I'm someone new. I'm done, I add, my hand shaking slightly as I place the phone on the desk. I've been playing this part for too long. I'm not your wife anymore, Damien. I'm not your victim either. I leave the phone on the desk and stand, my fingers tapping the papers in front of me, almost absent-mindedly. The contracts. The reports. The legal papers I've kept hidden for so long, pushed to the back of my mind as if I couldn't bear to look at them. But now? Now, they're my tools. They're my weapons. I reach for the top folder, my fingers tracing the edge of the paper. 90%. My heart doesn't race. There's no adrenaline rushing through me. There's only a feeling of clarity. This is it. For the first time in years, I look at these papers without hesitation. I have the power. I can't believe I've let this go on for so long. How did I become the invisible one, the one who was always just there? The one who made the calls, who signed the checks, who took care of every detail. The one who had nothing but silence in return. They'll know now. They'll see it. The truth that I've been holding on to for so long. Damien, Victoria, Claire, they all think I've been helpless. They all think they can control me, make decisions without me. But they're wrong. The game has changed. I stand, looking out the window again, at the sprawling city below. I've worked so hard to be the person they want me to be, to fulfill the role they've given me. But I've been invisible all this time. No one ever saw me. Now, I'll make them see. I turn away from the window and walk to the desk. I pick up my phone again, my hand steady. The number I dial is unfamiliar, but the voice on the other end is calm, professional, and ready. I need you to prepare the documents for a new leadership structure, I say. It's time to take full control. The day feels endless. The phone calls, the meetings, the legal jargon, it all blurs together, each moment another step toward the inevitable. The inevitable confrontation that's coming. I don't know when Damien will realize what I've done, but I know it will be soon. His calls are becoming more frequent, more desperate. Each one more irritating than the last. But I don't pick up. I lie awake that night, listening to the sound of my breath, steady and deep. My eyes are wide open, my mind racing. But this time, it's not out of fear or anger. It's something else. It's a quiet, almost reverent calm. For years, I thought I was building something with Damien. Something strong. Something we could share. But all I built was a prison. I can see that now. And the door is open. I close my eyes, inhaling deeply. This is the end of one thing. And the beginning of another. The phone buzzes again, this time pulling me from the quiet hum of my thoughts. Damien's name flashes on the screen. I stare at it for a moment, the harsh light of the phone illuminating the stillness of my office. I know what this is, another apology, another attempt to make things right. It's the same thing every time, and yet I feel no inclination to pick it up. But I do. I swipe the screen and put the phone to my ear. His voice crackles through the speaker. Eve, he says, his voice a little too calm. I don't want to keep doing this. Can we meet? I remain silent for a beat longer than necessary, my fingers gripping the edges of the desk. My fingers, steady, like the calm before a storm, but I can feel the tension building inside me, threading its way through my muscles, my thoughts. He continues, it's about everything. The company, our future. I know last night was a mistake, but... No, I cut him off, my voice firm and resolute. We don't need to meet, Damien. You're not the one who holds the cards anymore. The words fall out of me, each one more freeing than the last. My breath doesn't catch in my chest anymore. It's all so clear now. The realization has been building for days, months, maybe even years. The power has always been mine, and I've been blind to it. You don't get it, do you? I add, the anger simmering beneath the calm exterior. This isn't just about us anymore. It's about my future. You had yours, and now I'm taking mine. Damien is silent for a long time. He's probably not used to hearing me speak with such authority. I can almost hear him shifting in his seat, trying to find something to say that will make the truth easier to swallow. Eve, please, his voice trembles now, desperation creeping in. Don't do this. We built everything together. This isn't just about business. It's about us. I let his words hang in the air, feeling the weight of the past years pressing down on me. The years of silence. The years of being second in my own life. The years of playing the part of the dutiful wife while Damien and his family took everything I'd built and ignored my contributions. This isn't about us, Damien, I say, my voice cutting through the air like glass. This is about me, and for once, it's my turn. I hang up the phone before he can respond. Before he can say anything more to pull me back into his world of manipulation. The decision is made. I sit in silence for a moment, staring at the blank wall in front of me. It's strange, this feeling that I'm suddenly free, even though everything has already been set in motion. The legal papers are in front of me, waiting. The contracts. The shares. I've been building this empire in silence for years, and now it's mine to control. I've let them see me as weak for far too long. No more. The weight of it all sinks in, and for the first time in years, I feel calm. The storm is coming, but I'll be ready. I reach for the pile of papers on my desk. I slide my finger across the company's ownership documents, my documents. The ownership stakes, the legal contracts. I trace the numbers and percentages like they're mine to take. They are mine to take. I've always known, deep down, that the life I was living wasn't real. I was just a role. The dutiful wife. The one who kept the house, kept the family together, made sure everything ran smoothly. But I was never truly seen. Not by Damien. Not by anyone. And now, as the papers shift in my hand, I realize just how much I've allowed that to happen. The phone rings again, but I don't answer it. Instead, I pick up my pen and sign my name at the bottom of the document that will change everything. The signature is smooth, deliberate. The words aren't just ink on paper. They're the first step in taking my life back. The door to my office opens with a soft click. I turn to see Claire, Damien's sister, standing there. Her face is a mask of concern, but I can tell it's a performance. She's always been the one to speak for Damien when things go wrong. You're really going through with it, aren't you? She asks, her voice soft, but there's an edge there. You know, you can't just walk away from everything like this. We're family, Eve. I stare at her for a moment, taking in the words. They sting, but they don't break me. Not anymore. Family? I say, my voice low but firm. What does family even mean anymore? If it meant anything, you'd be standing by me right now instead of playing the part you always have. Claire flinches slightly, but she doesn't back away. She takes a step closer, crossing her arms over her chest. You don't understand what you're doing. You're going to tear everything apart. Everything we've worked for. What are you really going to gain from this? Money? Power? What will you have left when all of this is over? I can feel the heat rise in my chest, but I stay calm. Everything I've ever wanted, I say the words before I even realize I've said them out loud. But they hang in the air between us. Claire doesn't say anything. She just stands there, staring at me as if she can't quite process what I've become. I pick up the phone and dial my lawyer's number. This is it. There's no turning back now. The phone rings, snapping me out of my thoughts. I feel the steady vibrations in my hand, but my heart is anything but steady. The weight of what comes next presses on me, a burden that feels heavier than the world itself. I've spent my entire life trying to make the right decisions, to be the person others needed me to be. But now, I'm in control. I finally have the power to make my own decisions. And yet, this moment feels like the biggest one of all. Damien's name flashes across the screen. For a moment, I consider ignoring it. Part of me wants to block it out, to let it go to voicemail like so many calls before. But this time, I know I can't. I can't avoid this any longer. I need to hear what he has to say, even if I already know it's going to be the same manipulative pleading. I swipe the screen and bring the phone to my ear. The voice that greets me isn't the same calm, confident tone I used to know. It's frantic now, a strange blend of anger and desperation. Damien is no longer the man I married, not the man I thought I understood. This version of him is frayed, unraveling at the seams, clinging to whatever's left of the life we once shared. Eve, he begins, his voice rushing through the words. I know things have been tense. But we need to talk. The company, it's in trouble. The whole thing is falling apart, and I don't know how much longer we can keep this up. I need you. I can't do this without you. His voice cracks just a little. It's a weak attempt to regain control, and I can hear it, feel it, in the pit of my stomach. He's not the man I once relied on. He's someone broken, clinging to what little power he has left, and he's trying to pull me back in. I don't respond immediately. I know what he's doing. He's trying to manipulate me, playing on the memories of who we used to be, trying to convince me that I'm the one who holds the key to his salvation. But I'm not the same person anymore. I've moved past that version of myself. I've rebuilt. And now, it's time to stand firm. I'm not your savior, Damien, I say, my voice unwavering. There's no hesitation in my words. No second guessing. I'm done. I'm not the one who got us into this mess, and I'm not the one who's going to get you out of it. A silence falls over the phone line. It's thick, almost suffocating. I can hear him breathing raggedly on the other end, but I don't break. I've already made my decision. There's no turning back now. We've always depended on you, Yves, he continues, his words sounding like they're being forced out. Your strength. Your intelligence. Your loyalty. I can hear the underlying desperation in his voice. He's trying to appeal to the parts of me that used to care, the parts that used to be his rock. Think about it. Think about the family. Think about everything we've built. I almost laugh at his words, the arrogance in them. Family? The same family that's always made me feel invisible? The same people who've never treated me like anything more than an accessory to their lives? I'm done with the illusions. There is no family to save here. There's just Damien and his crumbling empire. I won't be his fallback any longer. No, I say again, my voice steady, clear. I'm done. I've been your punching bag for far too long. Not anymore. I feel my fingers tighten around the phone, my grip firm, but my resolve unshaken. This is the final conversation we'll ever have on this topic. The last time he gets to pull me into his mess. Eve, please, Damien pleads, his voice growing more desperate. Please don't let everything fall apart. You don't understand how bad it's gotten. The investors, the board. They're all waiting for you to step in. They need you. Your family needs you. His words hang in the air, but they don't mean anything anymore. Not to me. My family? The ones who've never seen me as an equal, who've never appreciated the sacrifices I've made. The ones who've used me as a stepping stone while they climbed higher? I'm not their safety net anymore. Not ever again. Your family? I repeat, the words growing sharp as they leave my mouth. You mean the same family who's never cared about what I've built? Who've treated me like I don't matter? I'm not your safety net anymore, Damien. You're on your own. Another silence falls, heavier this time. I can feel him struggling, trying to find the right words to say, but there's nothing left for him to say. I've made up my mind. I'm not coming back, Damien. I'm not saving you, or your legacy. I've spent enough years picking up your messes. His voice falters on the other end. I can hear the defeat in it. You don't understand what you're doing, he mutters, his tone flat and broken. This is bigger than just you and me. I understand perfectly, I reply, my voice steady and calm. You've always thought I was the weak one. That I would always clean up your messes. Well, not anymore. I'm not the one who has to make this right. You're the one who dug this hole. I hang up before he can say anything more. I sit back in my chair and exhale slowly, feeling the weight of the decision settle over me. It's final. There's no going back. For the first time, I don't want to. I don't want to return to the life I led before, hiding in the corners of my own existence, always playing the part they handed me. I'm done with that version of myself. I have power now. And it's time I started acting like it. I turn back to the stack of papers on my desk, the ones I've been avoiding, the ones I never thought I'd be able to touch. I look at the ownership documents, the legal papers that confirm everything I've known but could never quite accept. 90%. It's mine. It's always been mine. The truth I've been hiding from. The truth that will finally set me free. I reach for the top file and flip it open. The documents are neat, organized, just as they've always been. But now, they mean something else. They mean power. They mean freedom. The phone rings again, and this time, I don't hesitate to pick it up. I've already made my decision, but this call is just the final step in securing what's mine. Hello? I say, my voice calm, controlled. Get me the board on the line. I stare at the documents in front of me. This isn't just about Damien. This is everything that's led me here, the sacrifices, the years of silence, the years spent waiting for something to change. It's finally changing. I glance out the window, watching the sun dip lower in the sky. The city hums below, unaware of the storm that's about to hit. I can feel it now, the quiet calm. The sense of control. This time, I will be the one they answer to. The phone vibrates again, and for a moment, I just stare at it. I can hear my own pulse, the steady thrum of it in my ears as I consider what comes next. Every breath I take seems to stretch longer than the last. The decision is mine now, and I know what needs to be done. Damien's name flashes on the screen. My stomach clenches, but I swipe the screen anyway. I've come too far to stop now. His voice comes through, rougher this time, tinged with panic. Eve, please. This isn't how it's supposed to go. The company, we're losing everything, and I need you. Please. He sounds different, more vulnerable than I've ever heard him. A part of me wants to feel pity, but I've long since learned that pity doesn't fix anything. It only delays the inevitable. Damien, I say, my voice level, you're the one who let this happen. The company's been drowning under your decisions for years, and now you want me to throw you a lifeline? You never thought I was worth anything, did you? There's silence on the other end, and for a moment, I feel like I might be the one breaking. But no, this is just a new chapter, a new version of me. I'm done, I continue, the words steady and final. You've destroyed everything you built. And I'm not fixing it this time. I'm not your safety net anymore. Damien's voice is quieter now, filled with something that sounds like regret, but it's too late for apologies. Eve, please. Think about everything we've built. Built? I ask, the irony not lost on me. You took everything I built, and now it's time for you to face the consequences. I'm not your savior anymore. The words feel heavier than anything I've ever said. And as the silence stretches between us, I know I've reached a tipping point. I hang up the phone, feeling the weight of finality settle in my chest. There's no turning back now. For so long, I've allowed myself to be the one who picks up the pieces, the one who quietly supports, who lets the world move around her while she stays still. No more. I stand, feeling the gravity of the decision anchoring me in place. I walk over to the window, looking out at the sprawling city below. The same city I've walked through countless times, the same city that's seen me in every role, wife, daughter, silent partner. But no more. The city doesn't know it yet, but everything is about to change. The documents on my desk are the key to my new future, the future I've fought for and finally claimed. I pull them from the drawer, my hand steady as I skim the papers one more time. The shares. The control. It's all right here. The life I've been living for so long was a farce. I've been pretending, playing a part one didn't choose, allowing them to believe I was nothing but a placeholder. But not anymore. I'm stepping into the role I was always meant to play, the one where I hold the power, where I make the rules. I open the drawer again, this time pulling out my phone. I dial the number of my lawyer, the one I've been working with in secret for weeks now. The time has come. He answers on the third ring. Eve? His voice is calm, but I know he's already prepared for the next steps. It's time, I say simply. Understood, he replies. There's no hesitation, no second guessing. He knows this is the moment we've been preparing for. The phone call is brief. I hang up and sit back down at my desk. My fingers trace the edges of the contract in front of me. I've made my decision. There's no going back. There's no reason to doubt myself anymore. The company is mine. I'm the one who holds the power. The family will have to face the consequences of their actions, and I won't be the one to clean up their mess anymore. The knock at the door breaks my reverie. I stand up, smoothing out my dress as I walk toward the door. It's Victoria, of course. She never misses an opportunity to make her presence felt. She enters without waiting for an invitation, as usual. Her face is tight, lips pursed in that familiar way, as if she's expecting me to apologize, to fall back in line. She stands in front of me, arms crossed. I know you're angry, Eve, she begins, her tone softer than it's ever been. But you're making a huge mistake. This company. It's everything we have. You can't just take everything away from us. I look at her, feeling the weight of the years I've spent listening to her, letting her dictate the course of my life. Mom, I say, my voice calm but resolute. You took everything from me. You and Damien both. You never saw me, never saw what I was capable of. And now, I'm taking control. I've spent enough time being the good daughter. The obedient wife. Now, I'm going to be me. She doesn't respond at first. She just stands there, as if waiting for me to apologize, for me to cave. But I won't. Not anymore. Finally, she speaks, her voice colder than before. You think this is going to fix everything? You think that by taking control, you'll suddenly be happy? You're throwing everything away, Eve. I meet her gaze, steady, unflinching. I'm not throwing anything away. I'm claiming what's mine. There's a long silence between us, and for the first time, I don't feel the need to fill it with words. I let her see me for who I truly am. Her face softens for a moment, but it's too late. The moment has passed. She turns to leave, but not before casting one last look over her shoulder. You'll regret this, she warns. I don't respond. I don't need to. I've already made my decision. The room feels different now. Quieter. Lighter. I've broken free from the chains that held me, and the weight on my shoulders is finally gone. The door clicks shut behind her, and I return to my desk. I look out the window one more time. This is the beginning of something new. I sit back in my chair, the creaking of the leather beneath me a subtle reminder of the weight of the decision I've made. The air in the room feels charged, heavy with the tension of the moment. It's a stillness that feels like the calm before the storm, the kind of silence that lingers right before everything changes. My body is settled, but my mind races. The phone call with Damien echoes in my thoughts, his voice still trembling with desperation. But I'm not shaking. Not anymore. For so long, I was the one who held everything together. The one who did what needed to be done, who put everyone else's needs before my own. But now, everything has led to this moment. I'm in control. I've made my choice. And for the first time in years, I feel like I'm finally in charge of my own life. I glance at the signed documents on my desk, the ones that solidify it all. The company, my company, the one I've built from the ground up, is now officially in my hands. It's everything I've ever wanted, everything I've silently worked toward. And yet, I couldn't help but feel the weight of the responsibility pressing down on me. For years, I've let them walk all over me, Damien, Victoria, Claire. I've let them manipulate me, use me, treat me like a shadow in their lives. But no more. I won't let them destroy everything I've worked for. This is my moment. This is the time for me to step forward, to stop hiding in the background. I've already made my decision, and now, there's no turning back. There's no more second guessing, no more sitting quietly, waiting for permission. I'm moving forward, unshaken. The weight on my shoulders is gone. The sound of my steady breathing fills the space, the only noise in the room as I glance out the window. The city stretches out below, sprawling beneath the early afternoon sun. The world continues, unchanged, constant in its rhythm. Unlike my life. My life that I've spent so many years trying to please everyone else. But now, I'm done with that. I'm reclaiming my time. My voice. My legacy. A knock at the door cuts through my thoughts, but I don't flinch. I'm not nervous anymore. I'm not afraid of what comes next. I've made my choice, and now, it's time to face the consequences. Come in, I call, my voice steady, unwavering. The door creaks open slowly, and Damien steps into the room. His presence feels smaller now, the man who once commanded rooms now appearing defeated. The confident, charming person I once knew is gone, replaced by someone who seems fragile, broken by his own choices. His eyes meet mine, and for the first time, there's no arrogance there. No calculated manipulation. There's just guilt. And maybe, just a touch of regret. I know what you're thinking, he begins, his voice soft and almost pleading, like he's trying to reach me one last time. This wasn't how I wanted it to go. I don't answer. I don't need to. The words have already been said. The damage is done. We've had this conversation far too many times. But this time, I'm not listening. Not for his sake. For mine. I just don't understand, Yves, he continues, his voice growing more desperate, a slight tremor there. You've always been the strong one. We've always worked together. And now you want to destroy everything? His words sting, but they don't pierce. I've heard them before, too many times. Soft, sugary words meant to make me feel guilty, to make me feel like I'm the one who's at fault, the one who's tearing the family apart. But I see through it. I know what this is. And I'm done with it. You're the one who destroyed everything, I reply calmly, my voice low but unyielding. I gave everything to this family. I sacrificed for you, for them. And what did I get in return? Nothing. Not a single thing. Damien opens his mouth to speak, but I don't let him. I cut him off before he can spin it any further. You don't get to talk anymore, Damien, I say firmly, my voice cutting through the air. Not now. Not after everything you've done. He takes a step toward me, but I don't flinch. I don't move an inch. I stand my ground, unwavering in the face of his desperation. This is my moment, not his. I've worked too long, too hard, to let him try to pull me back into his world. You don't understand what this will do to the company, he says, his voice shaky now, a last-ditch effort to bring me back into the fold. The investors, the board, they're counting on you. Without you, we'll be nothing. The words hit me, but they don't shake me. I've heard this argument before. I'm done with it. The company? I ask, my voice barely a whisper. The company you've dragged into the ground? The one you've squandered, thrown away? I'm done fixing it. I'm done saving you. I stand up from my desk, the papers in front of me now feeling like a symbol of everything I've worked for. The space between us feels like an eternity as I walk toward him. My heart beats steadily in my chest, but there's a power inside me now that I've never felt before. He's still looking at me, but his face is drained of all emotion, the mask of control slipping away. I can see the exhaustion, the years of manipulation and lies catching up to him. You don't get to control me anymore, I say, barely above a whisper. The words are soft but final. You never did. I've been playing this role for far too long. But no more. I'm done. Damien doesn't respond. He just stands there, watching me as if he's waiting for me to crack, for me to soften. But I won't. Not this time. I've come too far to back down now. He sighs, rubbing his face with both hands, his shoulders sagging in defeat. You really are done with me, aren't you? I don't answer. I don't need to. My silence speaks louder than any words I could say. Damien takes a step back, his face falling into the exhaustion that's been building for so long. I watch him, the man who once held so much power over me, now nothing more than a broken figure. I don't feel pity for him. I don't feel anything for him anymore. I feel free. I'll make the arrangements, I say, my voice cold and final. But you're not a part of it. You're out. You've lost your chance. Damien just nods, silent. He doesn't protest. He doesn't argue. He just turns and walks out, leaving me alone in my office with the documents that mark my victory. I stand there for a moment, letting the finality of the decision settle in. The weight that used to hang over me is gone. The room feels lighter now. And for the first time in years, I feel like I can breathe again. The door clicks shut behind him, and I turn back to the documents on my desk. Everything I've worked for is finally within my grasp. The pieces are falling into place, one by one. But there's still one thing left to do. I walk over to the phone, my hand steady as I dial my lawyer's number. We're moving forward, I say when he answers. Make sure the documents are in order. We're done with this family. It's time to take control. I hang up the phone and stand at the window, watching the city one last time. The sun is setting, but the light feels different now. It's for me. Not for them. This is my moment. This is my time. And I'm ready for whatever comes next. I can feel the tension in the air as I walk through the familiar, grand hallway of the family home. The house that once felt like a sanctuary now feels more like a cage. Each step I take toward the dining room echoes, reminding me that I'm not the same woman who walked these halls before. The woman who stayed silent. The woman who made herself small for the sake of peace. That woman is gone. The room feels colder today, even though the sun is still setting outside, casting long shadows across the space. The grand dining table is set, as always, for a family meal, but this time, the people seated around it won't be sharing dinner. They'll be confronting the truth, and the truth is something they're not ready for. Damien, Victoria, and Claire are already seated, each one looking uncomfortable in their own way. Victoria, as always, is poised and controlled, but there's a hint of nervousness in her eyes. She knows what's coming. Claire, ever the passive one, is sitting there quietly, her eyes avoiding mine as I approach. And Damien, he looks like a man who has lost everything. The arrogance that used to dominate his features is now replaced by a pale, almost defeated look. I stop at the threshold of the room, my presence felt immediately. They don't even acknowledge me at first. They're all too busy pretending that nothing has changed, that everything is still the way it's always been. But I know the truth. The power has shifted, and I'm the one who holds it now. The silence between us is thick. It's not the comfortable silence of family gatherings anymore. It's the kind of silence that hangs heavy in the air, like a storm waiting to break. I take a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment, and step into the room, my heels clicking sharply against the floor. Damien clears his throat, breaking the silence, but his voice shakes. Eve, he starts, trying to sound calm, but the fear is obvious. We need to talk. You can't just do this. You can't tear everything apart. I walk further into the room, feeling the eyes of my family on me. I see the confusion in their faces, but there's no more room for confusion in this moment. They've taken enough from me. They've watched me quietly, patiently, suffer. But no more. I'm not tearing anything apart, I say, my voice steady. I'm putting everything back together. And I'm doing it on my terms. Victoria opens her mouth to speak, but I hold up a hand, silencing her. The power I feel now is something I never thought I could possess. But here I am, standing tall, looking at the people who tried to hold me down. You don't get it, do you? I ask, my gaze shifting from Damien to Victoria, and finally to Claire. You've all used me for so long. You've taken advantage of everything I've given you, and now it's time for you to face the truth. I am done playing the role of the dutiful wife, the obedient daughter-in-law. That woman is gone. Damien's face hardens, the desperation turning into anger. You think you can just walk away from everything? You think you can leave the family, leave the company, and let it all fall apart? You'll regret this, Eve. His words hit me, but they don't hurt anymore. They just reinforce the truth I've been avoiding for far too long. I've spent years fixing your messes, Damien, I say, my voice cutting through the air. I'm not your fixer anymore. I'm not your backup plan. This is my company, my future, and you don't get to dictate what happens next. Victoria stands up abruptly, her chair scraping loudly against the floor. You don't understand, she says, her voice trembling with emotion. You're throwing everything away. You're throwing your family away. Do you really think you can just take control and everything will be fine? You think you're going to win with this? You'll have nothing but a cold, empty empire, Eve. Her words are like poison, trying to worm their way into my resolve, but I won't let them. I'm not throwing anything away, I respond. I'm claiming what's always been mine. And you're right. This isn't going to be easy. But I'm not afraid of the consequences anymore. I reach into my purse and pull out the signed documents. I place them on the table in front of them. The room falls silent again. No one speaks. They're all staring at the papers, realizing, I think, that this is the moment they've been dreading. Those are the papers that will finalize everything, I say quietly. This company will be mine. Not yours. Not yours, Damien. And not yours, Victoria. You've had your chance. Now it's time for me to take over. There's a long pause. I can feel the tension building, thick and suffocating. Damien opens his mouth to speak again, but this time, the words don't come out. He just looks at the papers in front of him, at the company he thought he owned. And for the first time in a long time, I see the fear in his eyes. We can't just walk away from this, Claire finally says, breaking the silence. You're breaking us, Eve. I look at her, and for a brief moment, I see the scared little girl she used to be. The girl who always needed protecting, the girl who always relied on the strength of others to get by. But she's not that girl anymore. Neither am I. I'm not breaking anything, I say, my voice steady but firm. I'm putting an end to the lies. I'm putting an end to the pretending. You all thought you could control me, but I'm done. I turn to leave the room, and the door closes behind me with a soft click. I don't look back. I know this is the right thing. I know this is what I have to do. The storm is coming, but I am no longer afraid. I walk down the hallway, my steps sure, my heart steady. This is my life now. And I'm the one in control. I can still hear the echo of the door clicking shut behind me. The heavy silence that followed. It was the kind of silence that fills a room with all the things left unsaid, the things that have been ignored for far too long. I keep walking, my footsteps steady, each one reinforcing the truth that has settled inside me. I'm done. I won't be the one to pick up the pieces anymore. Not for them. Not for anyone. The weight of the decision feels like it's settled into my bones, but there's something else now. There's a lightness to it. Like the air in my lungs is cleaner, more open. For the first time in years, I can breathe freely. I head toward the grand family room, the place where everything always happened, where every conversation was had, every decision made. It feels almost unreal that I'm walking toward it now. That I, of all people, will be the one to change everything. The door to the family room looms ahead. I take a deep breath before stepping inside. They're all there, waiting for me. Damien, Victoria, and Claire, sitting at the long table like they always do. But this time, the game is different. I'm no longer the one waiting for their approval. Damien stands first, his expression wary, as if he doesn't quite know what to expect from me anymore. It's the first time I've seen him unsure of himself, and for a moment, I almost feel sorry for him. Almost. Eve, he says, his voice strained, we need to talk. I've been thinking about everything, and we can fix this, we can make it right. I don't respond right away. I just look at him, the man who has held my life in his hands for so long. He's shaking, his once perfect facade cracking under the pressure. I can see the desperation in his eyes, but it doesn't move me. Not anymore. You think you can fix it? I ask, my voice quiet but firm. You think I'm just going to walk back into this, back into the life you've given me, and pretend everything's fine? Everything you've done, Damien, this is the result. You've lost everything, and I'm not the one who's going to save you. The words taste bitter in my mouth, but they're true. There's no turning back now. He opens his mouth, probably to say something about how we're a family, how this isn't just about money, but I cut him off. I'm not playing the role of the dutiful wife anymore, Damien. Not when I've been the one doing all the work behind the scenes. Not when I've been the one holding everything together. I let the silence hang between us, letting my words sink in. I'm done with your lies. I'm done with being the woman who keeps fixing everything for you. You and your family, you've all had your chance. Damien's face hardens. He's always been able to charm his way out of things, but now I see the truth of it all. The games he's played are over. You don't understand what you're doing, he spits, his voice rising with frustration. You're throwing everything away. This company is everything we have, and you're about to ruin it all. No, Damien, I reply. You ruined it. You've ruined it all. You think the company's yours? It never was. Not when I've been the one holding the strings this entire time. Victoria shifts uncomfortably in her seat. She's been quiet up until now, but I can feel her gaze on me. She's waiting for me to falter, to break, but I won't. Not this time. She speaks, her voice calm, but there's an edge to it. You're making a mistake, Eve. You can't just take control like this. You'll lose everything. Your family. Us. She looks at me with pleading eyes, like I should feel guilty, like I should care. I don't. Family? I echo, my voice growing colder. You've never seen me as family, Victoria. You've seen me as a tool, a way to keep things running smoothly. I'm not doing this for you anymore. There's a moment of silence as Victoria processes what I've said. Then she shifts in her seat and crosses her arms, her mouth tight with frustration. You'll regret this, she warns, her voice low and venomous. You can't just throw us all away. What's left for you when everything falls apart? I meet her gaze, unflinching. I won't regret it, I say, my voice steady. I'm not the one who's been taking everything from me. I look at Claire now, who has remained quiet the entire time. She's the one who always tried to avoid conflict, the one who never really cared what happened as long as she didn't have to deal with the consequences. But today, I see her differently. She's not the innocent girl she once was. She's complicit. I thought you understood me, Claire, I say, my voice softer now, but with a sharp undertone. But you never did you? You were always just happy to be the one standing by the side, never making a move, just watching as I carried everything. Her eyes widen as she shifts uncomfortably in her seat. There's no response from her. No apology. She looks at me with an expression I can't quite place. Is it regret? Or fear? You don't get it, Eve, she finally says, her voice barely above a whisper. You're breaking us. You're tearing this family apart. You've already torn it apart, Claire, I reply, shaking my head. And I'm not going to pick up the pieces anymore. This is the last time. I turn and walk toward the door. They all watch me as I leave, but there's no stopping me now. No one can stop me. I stand at the threshold of my new office, looking out at the city sprawled beneath me. The once intimidating skyline now seems small from up here. I look out at the familiar streets below, the same ones I've walked countless times. But today, they feel different. There's a stillness in the air that's almost calming, as though the world is taking a breath with me, letting me breathe freely for the first time in years. The desk in front of me is clean, the surface is polished and pristine. It's everything I've ever worked for, everything I've built from scratch. And now, it's all mine. This office, this power, it's no longer a shadow I've hidden in, but a place where I can finally stand tall. I walk toward my desk, the click of my heels the only sound that echoes through the room. As I sit down, I take a deep breath, settling into the chair that, just a few weeks ago, felt so out of reach. Now, it feels like a throne. It's not just an office. It's my symbol of victory. The weight of what I've done presses against my chest, but it's a weight I'm proud of now. I've been the one who quietly held everything together while the world spun out of control around me. And I've taken that control back, piece by piece. Now, it's mine to keep. The phone rings. It's Damien. I almost don't answer. There's nothing left to say. But I pick it up anyway, knowing I have to face this final moment. He's the last piece of this puzzle. I've worked so hard to get here, and the last thing I need is to let him drag me down one more time. Eve, I've been trying to reach you. We need to talk. It's about the company, about everything. His voice sounds hollow, desperate. It's a stark contrast to the man who once ruled this family with an iron fist. He's lost it all now, and I'm the one who's taken it. You're right. We do need to talk, I say, my voice calm and unwavering. But it's not about the company anymore, Damien. It's about the mess you've made of everything, and I'm done cleaning it up. I hear him breathe heavily on the other end, trying to find the words. But I don't wait for him to continue. I cut him off. You took everything from me, I continue, my voice steady but firm. You used me, ignored me, and when it got tough, you turned your back on me. This is the price you pay. You lost everything because of your choices. I'm not going to fix it for you anymore. Damien tries to argue, but I'm not listening anymore. I'm not the woman who stood by and waited for him to finally see me. I'm not the woman who silently supported him, thinking that maybe, one day, he'd wake up and realize what I meant to him. That woman is gone. I'm done, I say again, with finality. This is it. You'll have to face the consequences of your actions. You made your bed, now lie in it. I hang up the phone. The silence that follows is deafening. But it's the silence I've been waiting for. The silence of knowing I'm not running from this anymore. I'm not hiding. I look at the papers on my desk again, the documents that have changed everything. The company is mine. My family, however, is not. And as much as it pains me to admit it, I'm done trying to please them. This is my time now, and I will no longer be controlled by anyone, especially not Damien. I take a moment to reflect on the journey that brought me here. The humiliation. The pain. The years of being second, of being invisible. It all feels like a distant memory now. Like a life I used to live, but no longer do. The journey hasn't been easy, but it's been necessary. And now that I've broken free from the chains that held me, I'm not looking back. The door to my office opens, and I look up to see Claire standing there. Her face is pale, her eyes filled with something I can't quite place. She hesitates before speaking. "Eve, I don't know what to say," she starts, her voice small. "I never thought it would come to this." I look at her, studying her for a moment. She's always been the one who never really took a side, always playing the role of the innocent, the one who avoided conflict. But now, it's clear, she's complicit in everything. She's been a part of this family's deception all along. "You don't have to say anything," I respond, my voice soft but firm. "The decision's been made. It's over, Claire. You've all had your chance." Her face falls, and she takes a step back, but she doesn't leave. "Do you really think this is the right choice, Eve?" she asks. "This family. Everything we've been through. You're just going to walk away from it all?" I don't answer right away. I look at her, seeing her as she truly is, not the sister I once protected, but someone who never once questioned the way things were. She was content to stay in the shadows, just as I had been. "No," I finally say, my voice steady. "I'm not walking away. I'm stepping into my future. I've been silent for too long. Now, they'll see who I really am." She doesn't say anything else. She just stands there, her expression unreadable, and I turn away from her. This is my decision, and there's no going back. I step out of my office and into the hallway. The family's waiting for me, but they'll have to wait a little longer. The battle is almost over. But the stakes are high, and I know that once I take this final step, there's no turning back. I stand in front of the door to the family room, my heart steady, my mind clear. I know what I have to do. I'm ready. Tonight wasn't just about reclaiming what was mine, it was about finally realizing my worth, despite everything and everyone that tried to silence me. This journey is a reminder that sometimes, the only way forward is through standing tall, even when the world tries to knock us down. What's the price of power? And how far would you go to claim it for yourself? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, let's keep this conversation going. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories of strength, transformation, and empowerment. The battle is never over. It's only just begun.